The Wild West heroine Annie Oakley was actually born and raised in Ohio, and her birth name was Phoebe Ann Moses. Annie, as her siblings called her, lost her father around the age of 6 and began helping the family by trapping small animals for food. She fired her first gun at 8 as a means to feed her impoverished family. The unlucky victim was a squirrel outside her home. When her mother found out she'd used her father's gun, she was forbidden to touch it again for 8 months. At age 9, Annie Oakley and her older sister were sent to the Darke County Infirmary when her mother became too poor to care for them. After about a year in the infirmary, she went to be the live-in help for a farm family with a baby. They treated her horribly. Later she'd refer to them only as the wolves. She ran away after staying there for 2 years, finally making it to a train station where a man took pity on her, buying her some food and a ticket home. After returning home, she paid off her mother's mortgage by selling game she'd shot to grocery stores for cash. At age 15, Annie Oakley entered a shooting match against professional sharpshooter Frank Butler. She won, and Frank, impressed instead of angry, courted her and they later married. Oakley replaced Frank's ailing partner in his shooting act, and soon she was the star of the show. Pictured, Oakley demonstrates her famous feat in which she shoots at a target behind her back with the aid of a small hand mirror. She reportedly once shot the ashes off the cigarette of Germany's Kaiser Wilhelm II, while he was holding it. She later remarked that, had she missed, she could have prevented World War I. Her extraordinary marksmanship allowed her to hit playing cards and dimes thrown into the sky. Before joining Buffalo Bill Cody's show, Oakley and her husband were with the Sells Brothers Circus. She made her own costumes, as she learned to sew at the infirmary as a child. A member of the Quaker religion, she made her costumes very conservative and refused to wear makeup. Oakley's career flourished nationally in 1887 when she performed with Buffalo Bill Cody at the American Exposition in London. Annie Oakley scorned the use of any trickery in shooting shows, instead relying only on her skill. In 1884, Oakley met legendary Native American warrior Sitting Bull, who adopted her as a member of the Hunkpapa Lakota and gave her the nickname Watanya Cecilia, or Little Sure Shot. In London, Oakley met Queen Victoria, who famously called her a very clever little girl. She did not want to appear dangerous in any way. This is one of the very few photos suggesting she killed live animals. Oakley competed at Wimbledon, before the London suburb hosted the famed tennis tournament. She was part of the rifle competition at Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee there in 1887. Her diminutive stature helped her stand out in the world of sharpshooting. She was only 5 feet tall. She sued newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst for libel, forcing him to pay her $27,000. Hearst had printed in the Chicago papers that a broke Oakley stole a pair of men's pants as a means to buy cocaine. She was, rather obviously, a proponent of women's rights to bear arms and to defend their countries via military service. She tried to convince the government to let her assemble a team of women sharpshooters to fight in World War I, but no public figure would allow it. Annie Oakley helped fund the care and education of orphan children in the United States. After Annie Oakley died in 1926 from pernicious anemia at age 66, Frank refused to eat and died 18 days later.